So the story goes like, around 2 years ago, I started building this miniature horse barn. And it was going great until I started working on the roof. It turned out really crooked and it did not fit the frame. And this basically got me so discouraged, I put this project aside and I didn't touch it for 2 years. Now I think I feel ready to take this on again. So let's go. Okay, first things we need to do is, as you can see, once I take it off the roof, you can see there is some missing wooden elements from around here. So I'm painting some wooden sticks green and a little bit brown to match the original green color. And then I found the pieces lying around here, so I guess we just glue them on. But don't worry, you'll use the other green piece later. So I'm using the glue on my finger because I always accidentally get a lot of glue on my fingers, so yeah. So that's how it is, not bad. Now we can move on to doing the other things. I'm making a lot of different wooden shapes. Brown, because they will have a good contrast to the green elements. So once I have this, I'm starting to cut the kebab sticks into small pieces like this, and then I'm attaching mosquito mesh or whatever it's called that you protect your windows from bugs. I'm attaching this to the wooden sticks and we'll glue that between the stalls to make stall dividers. I accidentally glued this one in the wrong place, so I'm just fixing that because I have other plans for the other side. Now I'm doing the same for the other two stalls. And I need a little bit of help from my tweezers. So now I have these wooden planks and I will install them in the remaining space, so it will look more cozy and it will be some sort of division between the tack and feed room from the horses. So the place looks a little bit more separated. And I think this went really well, so I'm ready to go and work on the saddle racks because obviously we need a tack room. I'm installing these two halves of a popsicle stick, which I painted brown previously. And these will make the base for the racks, and now I will add the part that the saddle will sit on. And unfortunately my glue was really liquidy and it did not hold it in place, so I had to turn it over and I'm installing pieces of wooden stick to add some sort of support for the racks so they don't flop. And I think this added a really nice rustic touch. I guess this is a cool detail. It's not very visible, but it's really looking nice. And while the glue is drying, I'm painting some matches with brown paint. And this is really random, but this unicorn looks kind of good here. Well, now I cut them at an angle until I have sort of like this thing that needs to be sanded a little and then mounted on the previously painted wooden stick. And this is really nice, I think. So I just cut it to shape and installed on the wall. I guess they're kind of thick, but I don't know. I'm adding a small shelf, but I didn't like its position. So I changed the position and placed it on the other side. But eventually I ended up moving it once again. So the last thing I want to do from the interior furniture things is a little bench. So I'm just cutting up some pieces of wood which I want to assemble into a bench. And I always wanted to do that kind of transition. I still need to work on that though. So once I installed the bench, I realized it's way too low and it looked really hilarious. So I added another layer of wood to make it taller and some support. And I eventually ended up lining it with paper because it kept leaning to the side and it was not very sturdy. So once I have this, I can put it inside the barn, and I think this makes it look really nice. Like, look at this, we're already doing good. Yeah, it was satisfying to see it coming together. I like that I added 2 different types of wood. It's giving a nice contrast and a bit of color. And generally, I'm really happy with it at this point, but there's still some things that we need to do, and it is the dreaded roof. So yeah, I did not want to redo the roof completely, so I decided to add some pieces that will cover and hide the unevenness of this roof and make it seem like it's actually fitting while it's not fitting. Like, you know, the temporary solutions that are always the best. So I'm cutting this type of hard, more sturdy cardstock and then I paint it with silver. And I got 2 straps like this that I just glued on the front to make it more neat, and I guess this works. Not bad, right? I added a little piece of like fake moss on it, and now I guess the construction work is finished, so I can add details. My favorite part. I'm making a halo from paper shape that I covered completely with my dried hay. And then I literally just cut out saddle pad shapes from fabric. I guess I could have added some detail, but I didn't feel like it. So now let's make some horse food because we need a feed room. First, I'm making a little a little bag from fabric, and I want it to seem like there's some weight inside it, so I will glue it like that. And this is what I have right now. And now for the inside, I will do apples. So I'm painting a piece of paper red to make it like a background. Now I'm taking some green parchment paper, whatever this is called, and I really try to cut out tiny leaves, and they were really hard to work with, and eventually they're now too big. But I thought I make the apples from beads. I think these are like normal seed beads. So I take some and I'm trying to glue them on the cardstock I painted earlier. And these are really hard to work with, and I added too much glue and this was a mess. And generally, I'm not very proud of these apples. And now I tried to add some leaves, and it's a pain to watch, but they rather stick to my tweezers than to the apples. And then they also stick to my fingers and they went everywhere, and now this looks like a Pokemon. Well, I guess not everything can go too smoothly, right? Well then, after some really hard work, I have this, which is a monstrous creation, but let's ignore that. And I'm putting it inside the bag until I have that. And the white will be transparent because it's the glue, so don't worry about that. Now I'm cutting up a little pieces of cardstock. I don't know why, I guess I didn't have any other idea. And I'm making a bag of horse treats or something. And a little carrots that are literally cut from foam board and some fake moss. Not exactly realistic, but cute. And now I can put all my little details inside the barn, and I'm covering the haystack with some more hay because why not? It seems small. And now I can add the bag with apples and the horse treats, which eventually ended up changing its position. I thought it looks too empty, so I added a thimble, you know, the one to protect your fingers while sewing. It's literally the only small container I could find in everything I own. All my things are more like Schleich scale. I didn't have any small containers. So the carrots are going on the shelf, and the saddle pads folded in half are going inside the bench, like this. And now I will add some some of my Mini Whinnie miniature tiny tack I made I guess 2 years ago or something like that. I will just add them on the racks and hangers. And I only have 2 sets, but I might make some more in the future. And the tiny little saddles. And the last thing I do is add some colorful thread because I thought it's really matching these colors. And here we go. I think this is really cute and I'm proud that I finished this project. Why is it upside down though? I think this barn has a lot more potential. I made some of the furniture and the tack room and feed room, but there's still not much accessories, so I don't know, maybe I should do some more accessories for them in the future. But if you have any ideas what other details and accessories could I make for this barn, feel free to tell me in the comments. And I think, and also funny story, because I called my sister on a video call and I was showing her this barn and I did not show her the scale. When I was calling, I started with my phone on the barn already, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is huge, where did you get these huge horses?" And I'm like, "What huge horses?" And she thought this is bigger than Schleich. And she was really shocked when I zoomed out and showed her the scale of this compared to my hands. So yeah, I guess I achieved a good level of realism with this barn. So here's a quick overview of the whole barn. And I put my Mini Whinnies inside. Some of these are customs in case you're wondering. And now we're looking at the tack and feed room. And here is the pavement. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Well, and the last 2 stalls. I'm really happy that I eventually finished this project. It was a journey. Yeah, it took a long time for me to decide to take it up again. But I'm happy I did, and the result is really nice. So, thanks for watching. Bye!